Welcome to Challah Talk, where we get deep into the dough. I'm your host, Joyce Jerome, and this is your space to rise. Every episode, we braid bread with women who share what fills their cup, fuels their fire, and helps them grow. One honest, heartfelt conversation at a time. So grab your dough or coffee, take a breath, and join me, because here we don't just talk, we meet it out. Challah. Hi guys, welcome to Challah Talk. I'm your host, Joyce Jerome, and today we have a holiday special for you. Chef and entrepreneur, my good friend, Arielle Nir Mamiye.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to jump in.
Today we're gonna get into Rosh Hashanah holiday prep. You're gonna answer some pressing questions. You're gonna teach me how to braid some gorgeous challah, and we're gonna get deep into the dough, all about the holidays. I'm so excited to braid with you. I made your recipe.
I'm excited.
Should we go inside and get started?
Let's do it.
Arielle, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited.
Yay! And I made your recipe. I'm so excited because it came out, I think, just perfect, but you'll be the judge of that. Guys, I just want to let you know, Arielle has a very colorful resume. She's worked in the hospitality business, in the Jewish food industry. She's a content creator. She has her own Substack, and she is a great resource for modern Jewish recipes on the internet. You're a major resource for me. So many of your recipes, every single one I've tried has been a hit. And so many of them have just constantly lived on my weekly dinner schedule and Shabbat recipes, you know, and specifically this time of year, Rosh Hashanah, you always come out with the most creative recipes, and I wait.
It's the best time to cook. It's like when everyone wants to cook.
It's what I want to cook and eat all year. So thank you for that, because since you've been posting recipes, I think it's been 4 years now?
Like a little less.
Well, little less, maybe 3. You started posting Rosh Hashanah recipes, and those recipes have stayed staples all year round. This morning, you just released.
I released my Jewish New Year Rosh Hashanah menu, which is so much fun to create. Like, I just love making menus and recipes, and it's fun for Rosh Hashanah because we have all these different ingredients that symbolize something else. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I have a lot of fun. Should I tell you a little bit about some dishes?
Yes, you should. Please.
Okay. I made a Dijon and honey glazed chicken. So like honey is that hero ingredient there.
Love that.
And it slow roasts in the oven, which is great for Rosh Hashanah because a lot of people will be reheating dishes, and it kind of like makes sure that the chicken doesn't get dry.
Wow.
The slow roasting technique at a low temperature. And then my other favorite is a date, so like medjool dates, jeweled rice. So it's like a crispy Persian tahdig with frizzled onions, and there's also orange blossom, water, and orange zest. So it's just like very festive, and I'm just amping it up because that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, we definitely are supposed to amp it up for the holidays. I guess I want to ask you one more question before we get into braiding the dough, because now you were telling me that this slow roast chicken, so how do you kind of is that how you manage your menus, like by slow roasting, quick cooking? Like, how does that work when it comes to you preparing for a big holiday, a high holiday?
I went to culinary school, and it was really helpful in learning French techniques of cooking. So just like, for example, it's a little bit technical, but there's like braising, which is cooking something with a little bit of water covered so it stays like really nice and tender. And then there's grilling, which is like just, you know, very high heat, quick, and you eat it fresh. So I kind of like to match like techniques that are intended for different uses. So for example, for a holiday, I like to braise usually because it cooks slowly and everything gets tender and it won't dry out.
Right.
But like for a weeknight recipe, I'll just throw like a chicken on the grill and just like have it right away for the kids. So I kind of try to think about what technique will keep the food the most delicious. Mm-hmm. But also, I like to make things that we can make ahead because everyone loves to make ahead. That's like that's like my most highly asked question is, can I make this ahead? Can I make this a week in advance and freeze it? You can. I don't usually recommend it, but yeah, I'm just trying to make everyone kind of host their family and bring people together in a less intimidating way. Like, that's the bottom line of what I do and what keeps me happy, and my purpose is to let people enjoy cooking and just make memories and conversations around the table for Jewish holidays or Shabbat, but just make sure it's not intimidating and show you that you could do it. It's like, it's not hard. Just get at least one thing on the table.
Just get it on.
Yeah.
I love that. Can you tell us a little bit about the recipe that you shared with me?
I don't make challah weekly, but when I make it, I like to use a recipe from Uri Chef, who is the founder of Bread's Bakery and Lechamim in Israel. And he just has like such a easy to work with dough. It's like, it's not sticky, but it's still really like tender as it comes out, and it's not too sweet. It's kind of like Israeli style, which is what I grew up with.
Yeah, I mean, it was very easy to work with, and I didn't put any oil on the bowl, which I usually do. Most recipes say that they spray it, but I did put flour, and it wasn't sticky at all. So I feel like I did a good job.
And it's a great base.
It is the holiday, and I feel like it's very important this time of year to make a special challah. Would you want to show me how to do a round challah or anything that you specifically like to do? I prepared all sweet toppings. We got seeds, we got raisins, cinnamon sugar.
Yum. Joyce prepared the dough. It rose until it doubled in size.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna shape it. Okay, so it's good to punch it down so there's no excess like air in it.
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
Just like that.
Cathartic.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
I got ready for my chef. I didn't want to mess anything up for you.
Yes. And also, Joyce's kitchen is my favorite material. It's called Formica, and it's the material of the kitchen, of my childhood kitchen. When I moved to Deal, where I live, we found this white Formica circular table for our kitchenette, and it's where I shoot all my recipes. And it's just like a very like forgiving surface that you could do anything to it, and I love it. I'm happy your kitchen is
I'm
Formica.
glad to service you on my Formica kitchen. Tell me about your childhood and how you found such a deep love for food that you made it your job.
So I have always been obsessed with cooking shows. I feel like when I was younger, I wouldn't watch cartoons. I just like watched the Food Network, and it was very satisfying.
Very satisfying.
I don't know why at the time I was very
All the
embarrassed,
time.
but it was just like the most satisfying experience, like watch them make these creations. I mean, I was surrounded with incredible cooks. My mom is a Moroccan and she was born in Israel, and her mother, like just the most amazing and loving cooks. And then from my father's side, I grew up with all my Persian aunts. And every Friday night we'd have these like incredible tables with Persian rices and stews. And I didn't realize until I was in college that that's really like what I love so much, and how lucky I am to have that background, that culinary heritage. So yeah,
There's a lot there to work with.
it's just like, yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, exactly. And it's what I loved. I loved to cook. When I was in college, I started cooking, and it's just like, we were talking about this, it's like my medium of just like creativity, like connecting with people. So food is what I wanted to do. And I'm gonna just use this bench scraper.
Okay.
It's actually one of my favorite kitchen tools. It's also great for like when you chop vegetables, you pick it up.
Okay.
I'm just gonna cut this, and then I'll tell you more.
Moroccan,
Yes.
Persian, Israeli, American.
Yeah, it's
Grew
a
up
lot.
in Long Island, went to school in Manhattan, married
yeah.
Boston, married a Syrian
And Egyptian.
and Egyptian. Okay, how do you balance all those traditional recipes? Because you are like the encyclopedia for the traditional recipes.
I'm just like grateful, and I embrace them. It's like a never-ending like vessel of inspiration and just like fun flavors to work with, or cooking techniques. Like in Persian food, there's tahdig, which is crispy rice, and you're able to make it with noodles, like with pasta and like meat sauce and different flavors. I don't know, it's just like never-ending, and I love the sour flavors from the Egyptian side, very like allspice forward and like tamarind forward. Syrian food.
I love that.
Persian food has a lot of herbs in it. Like herbs is I love herbs. It's my favorite. And then Moroccan food, there's a lot of saffron and more subtle flavors. But yeah.
Wow.
Fun. I'm gonna start cutting this.
I'm very uncomfortable trying a new recipe just on my own, but it seems like you're very comfortable. You did work for the Jewish Food Society. Can you tell me about that?
That was such a special experience.
What is the Jewish Food
So
Society?
the Jewish Food Society, it's an organization that they preserve and they celebrate, they call it Jewish heritage from around the world. So it's like an online archive where every week they share a Jewish story, family story, and they accompany it with like the family recipes that were carried from the place. Wow. So I was so lucky to
all kinds of all Jews around the world.
All around the world, from India, Japan, from London, from Australia. I would spend time with grandmas in their kitchen, and like my job was to hang out with them while they cook their recipes.
Oh my God.
And I was basically translating like their recipe where they use like a handful of this and a handful of that. I would stop them, I would like measure it, and then I would type it up, and we'd shoot it all professionally. And it was just like, it was a very cool way to learn about different Jewish foods, but also to learn about like the culinary editorial process, like with writing and like shooting, prop stylists and food stylists. It was really, really cool. And we still stay in touch and we collaborate, so.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So then you left the Jewish Food Society and then you started your own thing. How'd you get to this point now?
I feel like I always knew I wanted to put my family's recipes, to share them like with everyone.
Your own family's recipes.
Yeah, because we have so many recipes. I had all this experience and I was ready to kind of go for it. And I just like, I had a switch and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And I'm just like not gonna look back, because the hardest part of doing this is like the beginning, where you don't want to doubt yourself or anything, but you just have to just like put your head down and just be consistent and keep on going for it. So I started to make cooking videos. Right. My first video was this Persian herb frittata. I was living in Manhattan. Kuku sabzi, very nice.
That one I know.
So I was living in Gramercy. I was living in Gramercy, and I ran to the green market, and I grabbed like it was springtime, so I got like ramps, which are delicious, and I got spring onions and herbs and everything, and I went to my apartment and I just filmed it, and people loved the video, and I just kept on doing it.
You started filming. Are they your own recipes now that you're sharing, or are they traditional? How do you balance tradition with creativity in your holiday and everyday cooking?
It's such a good question, because it's really something that I think about. Like the food that I make, I try to bring the grandma vibes to our generation, where it's like an instant generation. Everyone has no time, like no ingredients, nothing. So there's always a balance, especially because I personally love, like, I could spend all day in the kitchen, you know me. But I know not everyone likes it. So especially like now that I'm a mom, I've also like learned that you need to be efficient. So I try to kind of keep the flavors, but make the technique a little bit more efficient. So like, for example, my stuffed grape leaf pie, instead of rolling the grape leaves individually, I just kind of make a pie with a stuffing, and it takes a quarter of the time, and it tastes just the same. So I try to keep the flavors, but change the techniques or the presentation. And people have asked me, like, do you think like your grandparents would be satisfied with this? And I think absolutely yes, because I think it's better for someone to make a recipe from their roots and have it on the table than to not. So
I think all your grandmas would be very proud of you.
I just want to share more about kind of like when I grew up, what kind of food was around me and experiences I had, but basically...
Yeah, also like not even about what the food was around you, because sometimes I noticed that with my kids, like when they have a positive memory around food, they all of a sudden love that food. Like if I cook with them and we make something that's like not a kid-friendly dish, like something super sour, or like they're around when I make homemade or whatever it is, and they forge a good memory around that dish, they end up loving it. So it's not always about like the actual food, but more about the memory that was created. So I'm sure that it shaped me and why I love food. So how does that?
So I grew up in Great Neck, New York, and Long Island, and both my parents were born in Israel. My dad's parents were born in Iran, and my mom's parents were born in Morocco. So I have all the like Sephardic blood in me, and basically during the year I would be in New York with my Persian family. So every Friday night we'd have Persian food, and I'd like hang out with them. And
do you have a very big family?
Yeah, like, very big family.
Your parents both they're immigrants.
Yeah.
And they moved here with their siblings. Do you have a lot of aunts?
Yes, I have like each side like 6 and like 7. Wow. So a lot of cousins, a lot of aunts and uncles. So basically in the summers we'd go to Israel for the whole summer. Wow. We would land in Ben Gurion, We'd go right to my grandmother's apartment in Ashdod, which is like more southern in Israel. And we'd get there and basically have a freshly made bowl of hand-rolled couscous. My grandmother would sit all day and roll her couscous and make it for us.
Oh, like fresh rolled tiny little couscous
for hours, tiny. And that is, till this day, like the strongest food memory I have. And I think that's truly like the root of like everything that I do, was like my grandma in her apartment with that bowl of couscous and that feeling of like how much time she put into it. And it was really beautiful. Yeah, I would spend my summers, I would go to Moshav, which is kind of like in the countryside in Israel. My aunt and uncle had like fields of farms. We'd go on the tractors and pick figs.
I brought figs if you want some.
Yeah, I love figs. It was a really, really cool time.
Did you ever make couscous with your grandma?
I didn't make couscous with my grandma, but I learned how to make it with my cousin after she passed away, and that was really special. And now I have my grandma's couscous bowl in my kitchen, and I make couscous in it, and it's
That's
really
the cutest
special.
thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Food is very sentimental for you.
It really is.
And what about your like immediate family? How many siblings do you have? And where do they live?
So I have a twin sister, identical twin sister, and an older brother. So we're all very close. We kind of live everywhere. My brother lives in Great Neck, and my sister actually lives in Paris. She got married there to a Tunisian family. There's a really beautiful Sephardic community there, actually. But yeah, we're very close, and we always cook together. My sister's kind of like my recipe tester in Paris because she hosts her meals there, and she always cooks. She's like, what should I make this week? What should I make this week? And it's great. Talk every day.
You talk every day.
Yeah.
And right now you're currently living in?
I live in Deal.
You live in Deal.
Yeah.
Work from your own kitchen.
I work from my kitchen.
And you're a mom of 2.
Yes.
And you mentioned earlier that food is like a modality for you. Was it the word?
A medium. It's my medium.
Medium.
Can you tell me a story?
Yeah, can I tell you a story? I mean, it's just like, it's the medium of everything. Creativity, like mindfulness, staying healthy. If I'm feeling like I had such a busy week and I'm not like so centered, like it's a Sunday morning, Ellie's taking the kids, I'm going to the farm stand, getting inspired by those ingredients, coming home, turning on some music, and just cooking a meal. And I'm in like a state. It relaxes me, but like you're in this flow of just like presence. Like I think it's all about being present. So yeah, and it's also how I get people together. I cook, love to cook and like serve it to them. It's how I can meet new people. Get like what's so incredible. People ask me often how it's like to be in like the digital world, like in the Jewish food content world, and it's been so embracive, the Jewish food world and all the people that are part of it. You meet someone once and it's like you've known each other for forever. Next thing you do, you go to their kitchen and you cook together and you make a video together, and it's just like it's really special.
Wow. So really your form of connection is through cooking.
A lot of times I get comments on my videos that people say like, wow, this is something that my grandmother made and I haven't made.
Oh, wow.
They say, wow, this is something that my grandmother made and I haven't seen it since. And I feel like sharing these Jewish recipes or more traditional recipes, even if I do it in a more modern way, it's like it resonates with people who grew up with it.
You're keeping the history alive and you're watering those roots.
Yeah, I like that. Watering those roots.
Tell me what you did here.
Okay, so we are making the strands that we will braid. And this is Uri's tip where you kind of roll the dough and then you taper the edges to make them a little thinner. And it will give the challah like a really nice shape.
These are going to be really nice.
Yes.
You mentioned that the holidays are the backbone of your content.
Yes. The recipes I share, it's what I make. It's me, it's my lifestyle.
You're on the Jewish schedule.
The holidays are when we all cook the most and when everyone wants to kind of bring out the big guns. And so I kind of just look at the year and the major holidays we have. And that's when I kind of go all out. I think of different menus for different types of holidays, even for like a Yom Kippur pre-fast meal, like something light that's like not too flavorful but satisfying. Another facet of my content is seasonality, which is just like cooking with vegetables or fruits that are in season at that time of the year. So we just had the summer season, which is the most abundant season But now it's fall and we're gonna have amazing squash. We're gonna have pomegranates and citrus. So it's kind of just like cooking with whatever's in season will give you the best results because that produce is like at its peak.
I also went to culinary school in New York, and I feel like it helped me grow so many instincts for just like how to blend recipes, like using a seasonal food and adding it into like an older recipe. So how do you blend seasonality with tradition when it comes to recipe making?
That's a great question. That's exactly like how I shape my recipes. So I have my resources of these like Jewish recipes that either I grew up with or that excite me. Right. For example, there's a book called The Book of Jewish Food by Claudia Rodin. It's like the Bible of Jewish food. It has all the information. And then there's another Persian cookbook called The Food of Life. And so that's kind of like an encyclopedia. So for a holiday, I would get like a recipe that I'm excited about for my roots. For example, jeweled rice. Right. And I'd look at what's in season, and you could put pomegranates on it, dates in it, but it's kind of just like a formula. This is science, this is chemistry. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm just making potions in the kitchen, and especially with kids, we could talk about kids for a moment. I have 2 daughters, and I think that cooking something with them is the best type of project that they could have.
Right, what do you mean?
We can get into the kitchen and let's make schnitzel, and that's gonna be your dinner. And it's just like an activity that's tactile, and they learn about what they eat. And I just find that like it's so fun to teach the kids and do it with them and then eat it with them. My kids eat our food so much better after we make it together.
When you're able to connect with your kids on something that you like cooking comes from your heart, and when you share it with them, your heart is opened, and they're your heart becomes open, and they're open to receiving your love, and like they see it in your cooking.
That's like a very big part of like my identity in the kitchen is that's how I show my love. That's how I nourish people. So
feeding them.
Yeah, and like I get it from my mom, my grandma. Every time like I go to my mom, she calls me. She's like, "What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?"
Can I make you? My mom's the same way.
And then I do that to people because I don't want to guess what you want. Just tell me what you want, and I'll make it.
The guessing is the hardest part.
But yeah, I think that's really like the best form of like getting to someone's heart.
As a Jewish mom and wife and homemaker, like our strongest power is like what we can create in our home, you know, not only in the setting, but also like what are we creating in the kitchen? What can we provide? Like what is, and the time that goes into it, it shows, like the love shows. Speaking of time, weeknights are very different, you mentioned to me.
So I work full time. I film like 2 or 3 times a week my recipes, and then I edit them and I write them. I have my newsletter.
You edit everything on your own? You do
everything on I do everything by myself.
Okay.
And it takes time. When the girls get home, that's when I cook. I don't cook in advance. Right. I find that, especially for kids their age, they're 4 and almost 3, I just like, my whole philosophy is just low stakes. If I don't put too much effort into their weeknight dinner, but I know they like it and they'll eat it, that's a win. Like, I'm not gonna go all out and make a whole complex dish for them and then maybe they won't like it. So what do we eat on weeknights? I make schnitzel a lot, schnitzel and like a vegetable, but also like a 10-minute broccoli pasta where I just take pasta and broccoli florets and I boil them at the same time. And then I just mix them with Parmesan and butter, olive oil.
Can you post more of these recipes?
Yes, I will now that it's winter soon, after the holidays. But what I wanted to say also is that these simple recipes, they make with me. So it's just like a whole experience. Like come home from school, we'll cook some dinner. You could run off and play if you get bored, but you'll eat it after. So yeah, that's kind of.
And you don't force them to eat. You're just like, all right, here's the food on the table, and it just stays out, and they can pick at it as they go.
No, I don't force them to eat. But when it's dinner time, I put their plates down. I say it's dinner time. Eat. And then whenever they're satisfied, they tell me, and I'm like, okay.
They say, I'm done, Mom.
They say I'm satisfied. I don't know. My mom is freaking out.
That's a very healthy relationship with food you're building for your girls.
That's all you want. You want to be satisfied.
Yeah.
Can I show you how I braid? Okay, so
show me.
We're going to first dip the dough in the water, and then we're going to roll it into the sesame seeds, and that's what will kind of allow it to stick. Okay, so I'm just going to go right in.
Okay, show me.
Okay. look how pretty, like you're getting so many sesame seeds here, and it's gonna flavor the challah really nicely. Okay, I'm gonna do the nigella seeds now. Okay. This one is much more dramatic. Check it out.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't that pretty?
My house is gonna smell amazing.
So now we're gonna braid.
Chef, yeah, chef.
We're gonna braid the challah, and something that I also learned from this recipe, to start braiding like in the middle of the challah and not from the top. So I'm holding the bottom.
Okay.
And I go like this, 1, 2, and I kind of just like braid it this way. Do it how you like. This is how I like to do it. See?
Wow.
And I don't know, it just works for me. And then you'll see what I'll do next.
Oh my God.
Well, we want to keep the tapered edges here, so we're just going to pinch it.
Okay.
And
Can
kind
you
of roll
see this
it.
on camera, the details? She pinches it.
And
like
now
this.
I'm going to flip it over this way.
Okay.
And I'm going to repeat. And just kind of go like this.
Okay.
And you see how the tapered edges, it just looks really kind of elegant and fancy.
Very
Which is good for the holiday. But wait, we're going to make it into a circle because you wanted a circle.
I do want a circle.
What I'm just going to do is I'm going to go like this. Make a little ring.
Wow, it's gorgeous.
Put it together.
Gorgeous.
It's a little bit kind of irregular, but it's cute and it's like special. It's almost like a bag, like your purse. Instead of just putting it straight, we could kind of play with it and be a little artsy. And it just like, you could just turn it this way and maybe turn this way, and it just looks a little bit more like subtle.
Fancy.
And yeah, it looks pretty, right? Yeah.
Beautiful. It is Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of the high holidays, the beginning of a new year. And today I have a very special set, thanks to my good friend Sonia Shalom, the owner of Casa Salama, who provided me with all of these beautiful decor and Judaic pieces, from her challah cover to challah tray, kiddush cup, and beautiful bowls. Definitely getting better each week.
Are these also Sonia's?
These are also Sonia's.
So beautiful. Look at this.
Gorgeous bowls, dishes, vases, and all your Judaic needs. Arielle, what's a non-negotiable dish on a Rosh Hashanah table for you?
Definitely rice, because I'm Persian and I always love it. So we always have, we have multiple rices. Must have a plain white rice tahdig for the kids and for some adults, but then also there's all these different types of rices in Persian food. There's rice with orange peels and carrots that are kind of candied and caramelized.
Can you make this for me? Can you send me
a recipe? Of course. And then there's also like a dill rice with lima beans that's amazing.
Delicious.
So I just feel like rice is always on my table no matter what.
How do you prep for the holidays, and how do you stay calm and collected in the kitchen?
It's a really good question, because I feel like one of the most popular comments I get is that I look so calm and effortless when I'm making my recipes. And I just think that comes from being organized and setting yourself up for success.
Are you a perfectionist?
I'm definitely a perfectionist. Okay. I'm also a Capricorn. I don't know if that has to do with anything. But
Notice that I had almost every single person that I've had on the show so far is identified with being extremely type A. And I'm
not type A.
You're
definitely
not type A,
A.
But you're very organized.
I really think in advance, like a few weeks in advance, I start to plan out my menu. And when I'm planning my menu, I'm thinking about like efficiency in the kitchen, where I actually have one oven, so I like to cook the proteins, like a brisket and the chicken, in the oven at the same time, so they're cooking at the same temperature.
Is that the first thing that goes in the oven?
Yes.
What about days before? Is there anything in the freezer on a holiday or on Shabbat?
I don't do the freezer, but I don't judge, and it works very well. Okay. But what I do is, for example, I love to set up like if I'm making short ribs, I make that a day in advance from start to finish, and it benefits everything. You're able to refrigerate it overnight, and then the next day you're able to skim off the fat, so it's like cleaner, and just reheat it. Like and it's also like all the flavors kind of meld and get better. So something like that I would definitely make in advance. Also something like the chicken, for example, I love to assemble it in the pot or the pan, whatever. And I marinate it overnight, and then the next day I just take it out of the fridge and into the oven. So it's just being efficient like that. And then also on the day that I'm cooking, I try to keep the kitchen clean. So when I'm chopping like vegetables or herbs, most of the time in the kitchen, I have a setup where I have my cutting board, and then I have a bowl for like for the garbage and the scraps, and then I have a bowl for what I've cut. And this is also something that we learned in culinary school, and that's how you keep it very organized. It's more of just like setting up the mise en place. And as I'm chopping, I'm throwing out the stems here. I'm putting
a garbage bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and so I just think like that's also a way to stay efficient, because if you're organized, it doesn't take as much time. But also something that I do, I cook my big meats in like Le Creuset's cast iron pots.
Yeah.
And I just serve it in that. So it's like, it was kind of a lazy thing that I started at the beginning, but I kind of now like how it looks, and I think it's actually more modern than using serving dishes sometimes.
I love that. Rosh Hashanah is the happiest time, and it's a start for a new beginning.
I love Rosh Hashanah. It feels like such a refreshing start, especially after the summer. And it kind of like how it falls with like the school year, because until today, I've been out of school for a long time, but for me, like a year starts in September.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just so beautiful that we have these traditions that are rooted in like the food too, where we have all these like symbolic foods. Like, it's kind of cheesy, but yes, have a sweet year, have some honey and make your year sweet. And it's just like, I just feel so grateful that we have these kind of traditions and holidays to just keep us grounded, and to show our kids what life is about. And for me, like, a lot of times when I'm making a recipe, for example, when I make my grandma's couscous, my mom, or even challah, my mom is super spiritual, she's incredible, and she taught me that like when you're doing something, like when you need or when you make the couscous, just ask for what you want, and like that's how you could be spiritual. So yeah, or like pray for people, and there's just so many beautiful things you can ask for or just like think about when you're doing these things.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, because cooking is a form of action and energy. Do you have any tips for someone that's trying to host a holiday meal for the first time?
I think the most important thing to think about is that less is more. So we could think about that in like many ways, but to start with the menu, don't make a ton of dishes. Choose like 3 or 4 dishes and just stick to those. Go simple. Make a simple classic roast chicken and don't shred it apart or make a more complicated recipe. Meatballs are really good for first-time cooks because they stay juicy and they're cooked in a sauce. And
love making meatballs.
Yeah,
it's easy.
And it's not like a lamb chop that you kind of have to time, or like a steak. So make braises. Those are very forgiving. They don't get dry because it's a lot of juicy bits in the recipe. So make the pomegranate braised beef. You can also use any type of beef cut. There's chuck, which is the most simple cut, and it works just as well as something as fancy as like short ribs or flanken.
And it's forgiving. If you want to try something for the first time,
yes,
or test it out, would you, like, now you just posted all your holiday recipes, would you recommend people to test them out a week in advance and see if it's something that they like, or do you feel like they're foolproof and we should just go with it?
I think you should go with it. I test my recipes and I cook them often. It's good to just take a risk. If something is not a flavor you kind of lean towards, just try it out and maybe you'll love it or even your guests will love it.
Right.
But also just like trust yourself in the kitchen. You gotta trust yourself, and as you were saying, your instincts. Right. And the more time you spend in the kitchen, to this first time cook in the kitchen, the more experience you'll get, the better and more calm you'll be. So yeah, just do it like your mom or your grandma.
I have my very own question. This is for being a cook and a host. Being a great cook is one thing, and then hosting is an entire different thing.
So true.
What about the hosting when it comes to doing a Shabbat or loving to have friends? Because that's the point where I get a little bit nervous. Like, I could get the food on the table, and then everything else is like...
So I kind of like, the way that I function my whole life, like I've lived with my sister before I was married, and now at home, like I kind of like to run it like a restaurant kitchen, where there's like the back of the house, which is the kitchen, and the front of the house, which is like where the people sit. So I always get like either my sister or my husband, they're in charge of front of house. My husband sets up the bar, and I'll bring out the stuff. And I kind of like,
team effort.
It's a team effort. Get people to help you. You gotta just plan ahead. I just heard something recently that was really sweet. They're like, when you're thinking of hosting, think about what could be on the table hot, what could be on the table at room temperature and what could be at the table cold. And you could also kind of plan ahead accordingly because you won't have to reheat so many things. Like you'll have some things you just like pop out of the fridge or like a salad or something. So, and be calm and enjoy it. There's many times where I looked back and I just didn't enjoy it. And
Where
you just
was
have
I
to,
that entire
like,
time? Everybody left already.
Sit down and don't overthink it.
Right. I love that tip that you said. I'm going to use that. Cooking in your kitchen all the time, what is the feeling that you get when you're in your kitchen?
It's very peaceful, happy. My husband, actually, fun fact, my husband painted my kitchen cabinets the night before we moved in.
Himself?
Yes, himself and this other guy. And it was just really cute and it was very romantic that he did that. But anyways, there's a lot of light in my kitchen and it's not like a fancy kitchen, but it's just fun to be able to just create over there and play my music and just like vibe and have my kids running around. And yeah, there's a feeling of being like settled and safe. Like when you come home from traveling, I love just get in the kitchen and cook breakfast or just a meal. It kind of centers me again, you know that feeling?
It grounds you.
Yeah,
your
it's
kitchen
grounding.
Is your grounding
It's grounding.
space.
And even if I'm traveling, I find the kitchen and I love to cook when I'm traveling and it kind of it brings you back to like the place that you're in.
How does your family feel about you in the kitchen?
I'm very grateful because I feel like my husband and my kids really appreciate my food and are happy to eat it and they're excited when there's like a new recipe that I make. And sometimes it's very old school, but I like to, after I'm done filming a recipe, I pack up the dish and I drop it off to my husband at his office. And it's like really, I love doing that because I feel like in the middle of the day, everyone would just close their offices, go home and have a lunch meal in their house and then go back to work. And that's also so like, it's just such a sweet thing to do. And it's just like, I don't know, I feel like it would make someone's day. So
it really would. I mean, it would make Jacob say, Jacob, I'm thinking of you all day long. I'm not sending you lunch, but I would in a different world, in a different life completely. Maybe if I was Arielle.
I'll bring it for you.
What makes you feel fulfilled about what you do?
My favorite thing to see is when someone takes a picture of my recipe in their kitchen and that they're serving it and that when they see their family loved it, because I feel like the bottom line is I want to help people bring their families and friends together over holidays or any day, and that truly is just so fulfilling and wholesome to me. So that's what keeps me going, and it's just also really exciting when I get to meet people in person and they tell me like the recipes that they like and that they keep on making it, and that's kind of all I want to do is to like make people happier in the kitchen and bring people together.
You've
enjoy the flavors.
Done that for me and taken out for me. One of the hardest things is the guesswork of what I'm going to make, and whenever I really don't know, I go onto your Substack or your Instagram, and you usually say when or why you're making it. Like, hey, this is kids' schnitzel for a weeknight, or oh, this is this for that. And it's really helpful to me. I'm definitely your customer. When things get a little bit hard or you're feeling like you're not wanting to get into the kitchen, holidays, hectic time, life gets hectic, being a mom of 2 little girls, what keeps you going all the time?
That happens, and especially when things happen in Israel where my family is and where I grew up, I always wonder like how to respond or how to bring comfort to people. And it really just comes back to these recipes I grew up with that make me feel like I'm cared for and I'm safe and I'm getting like warmth from like this food. So yeah, after October 7th, I didn't know what to do because we have to feed our families and keep on having Shabbat. But I just found that just thinking back to what makes me like feel connected to my family in Israel was just like a simple recipe called sofrito. And it's actually a recipe that's been made by Jewish families for like centuries. It's just a protein that could be like chicken or beef and potatoes and onions. It's like super simple, like not fancy or anything, and you just kind of sear each item on its own and then you let it braise in the oven for hours. And it was just like a very comforting and delicious recipe that's nurturing. So that's what it comes down to. It's like I want to be nurtured. So I shared that recipe and people made it, and just have to like, I feel like Shabbat is such an amazing tradition that we have. Like, I don't know how people can get through a week without having Shabbat to just like pause and just have a meal with your family, sit down, recollect. And so I feel like Shabbat and cooking Shabbat also is what keeps me going, actually.
You have something to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. I look forward to Shabbat.
I do too.
I ask people, what do you want to do for Shabbat? I get excited to think about what to make. So
I love that. And you're thinking about it probably from Monday?
Yes, Monday, but sometimes like maybe a week or so ahead of time. But I look forward to Shabbat. You said it right. And like, that's what excites me.
It's time for a rapid fire. First segment of questions is going to be around holiday cooking. Okay. What is your go-to easy but impressive Rosh Hashanah dessert?
It's actually coming up, and I'm going to tell you it.
We're getting a spoiler alert.
So you know I love phyllo dough.
Yes.
It's just like a very easy dough to work with, and it's very flaky. And it comes pre-made. So I'm going to do phyllo dough, store-bought chocolate spread, phyllo dough, chocolate chips, phyllo dough babka. Very easy.
Wait. Love it. Is it
It's
rolled?
like 2 ingredients. It's rolled, cut, twisted like a babka.
Okay.
But no rising.
Is it like a Nutella?
It could be, but I'm going to use like a dairy-free one. That's my favorite one. I forget what it's called. But that's something that I love.
Gorgeous. I can't wait to try it.
Also, something I love for Rosh Hashanah is just a simple apple tart, store-bought puff pastry. Roll it out, put a layer of apricot jam, and then thinly sliced apples. Top it with cinnamon and sugar.
Wow.
And then you roast it. You like bake it in the oven. And then as soon as it comes out, you brush it with a glaze with like a little bit of apricot jam and water. Amazing, classic.
Gorgeous.
Serve it with some dairy-free vanilla ice cream.
Do you do it in like a baking dish? Or
I do it on a sheet tray. I do it flat.
On a sheet tray.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
It's like French style.
French style.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. From a French learned chef. Guys, there you have it. You have 2 easy recipes that you can make. You don't have to buy everything from the store. Bake your own baked goods.
But
Delicious.
it's okay if you want to buy something from the store.
It's okay if you want
Focus
to,
on the savory.
but it's all good. I like sweet though. Okay, your favorite shortcut or time saver?
In the kitchen?
We're cutting corners here because it's me.
Oh, okay, wait, let me think about it. Wait, I have something. I have a good one. Okay.
Okay.
So getting a really good store-bought condiment like harissa or preserved lemon paste, getting these condiments that are so flavorful, it allows you to just like have that be the seasoning of the dish. So I just would take a whole chicken, take that condiment or even pesto, brush the whole chicken with that, and pop it in the oven.
I love that.
So that's what I like.
Love that. Also, when it comes to finding, like, I find that in a lot of Israeli cookbooks or things, they're always showing you the tahini, the sauce. Sometimes if you want to make it and you want to be fancy, you could just buy that. I love that.
Exactly.
I already do that. Any make-ahead tips for people hosting big meals?
Make your roast a day ahead. Chop all your herbs and onions or vegetables that will be cooked. Do all that chopping a day before. That's it.
Do you chop the day of or not really?
I chop the salads the day of, but if it's a vegetable that I'll be cooking the next day, I'm just gonna cut it all, put it into containers, like chefy containers or whatever, and then the next day I just take it out, and it saves so much time.
Beautiful. Genius.
And headspace. It's like not messy.
One dish that's always worth making from scratch.
Ooh, I like this question.
Let's go.
I mean, yebra, grape leaves.
Make it from scratch. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
Don't buy that.
Make it, freeze it, and have it. But like,
So this we're allowed to freeze.
yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Wanted to know. I went to the new school. A big project that I did was the history and the kind of the terroir of yebra.
No way. I love
Yes.
that. I want to see that.
And I found a million different recipes from all around the world of dolmas, yebras, stuffed grape leaves, and I wrote about it. I tested them. It was a lot of fun.
But that's a specific recipe that's like the most comforting to like my husband. If anything, like he just always wants grape leaves to like, anyways.
So good. Okay, that was it for the holiday questions. Okay, now we're gonna go into quick fire, regular cooking questions that don't have to do with the holiday. You ready? Your favorite fruit?
Peaches.
Yum. To cook with or to eat?
To eat.
Okay, gorgeous. What about to cook with?
Dates or oranges?
Very good. I like both. Okay, great. Worst vegetable?
Peppers, red peppers.
You don't cook with them?
Orange peppers.
Are they in any of your recipes?
I use red peppers for matbucha.
Okay.
I just personally don't eat peppers. I don't know.
Most underrated Jewish dish.
I think I want to say like the sofrito, which is just like simple braised chicken and potatoes and onions, nothing else.
That one's very underrated. Which ones are overrated? I'd say like schnitzel.
Oh, schnitzel's not overrated. Don't go
not
there.
Overrated?
No, schnitzel?
It's just.
I love schnitzel. I schnitzel every type of thing. Schnitzel can come out.
so
Even
good.
bad schnitzel is good. How about
Okay.
that? I don't eat
overrated?
lox. I don't do
You
lox.
don't do lox?
No.
Okay, fine. I got you.
Bagel
Okay.
lox. Oh, and I also don't like cream cheese. So maybe bagel lox and cream cheese.
Bagel
is overrated.
lox and cream cheese is overrated. It's a very typical thing. I also don't eat it. I don't eat bagels. There we go. Cooking pet peeve.
Okay, it's not a pet peeve. It's just something that I don't do so often is that I don't love having too many kitchen appliances. So like I don't use an air fryer.
Okay.
I don't really use like a food processor. It's just I find it easier to just do everything by hand or to just not do something that requires an extra piece of equipment.
Right, yeah, because then it's clunky and everything. Okay, favorite challah topping. Should I just guess that one? Is it the nigella seeds?
I think it's sesame.
Sesame, okay. Sesame. Holiday you love cooking for the most.
I love Shavuot because like we don't get so many chances to make like a festive dairy meal. So
True.
Shavuot is fun. But other than that, I have to say Rosh Hashanah. I feel like I even like Rosh Hashanah more than Passover.
I agree. Rosh Hashanah is my favorite time. Even I'm not hosting this year, but I will be testing and making them, and they'll probably end up on my Thanksgiving table. That's one of the things I do.
have one more tip that I thought of for the person that's a first-time host.
Okay, first-time host tip.
Make it a potluck. Make 1 or 2 dishes and then ask a friend to bring something.
Gorgeous. Love
Don't
that
be afraid
idea.
to ask.
Very
Okay.
cute. Favorite spice.
Paprika. It's very Moroccan, but it's just, it adds color to everything and it adds like an umami flavor that just, it's amazing. I also love to make paprika oil, which is very
How do you do
Moroccan,
that?
where it's just like I take a container, I fill it halfway with paprika, and then I fill it completely with oil, and then I let it sit overnight. And the next day you're gonna have this bright red oil that will
Gorgeous.
like stain any kind of chicken,
God.
or you could put it in, I don't know, a bunch of things, and it's
Wow,
great. So paprika, I
gorgeous.
would say.
Wait, I have a second question to that question. What type of paprika and what brand spices do you buy?
Such a good question.
Yeah,
I am still using paprika that I brought back from Israel like a year and a half ago. I came back with like several pounds of paprika in my suitcase.
Oh, wow.
My mom took me to this place. It looked like I was going to like the Harry Potter like wand store in that alley.
Yeah.
And it was just like this religious lady, and she had all these spices in the store, and you basically ask her what you want, and she grinds it all on the spot.
So she ground all
And
paprika for
it's
you.
like the most like fragrant, bright paprika. So I still have, and I store it in the freezer.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm not using, I store in the freezer, and I'm still working through that.
Gorgeous.
But otherwise, I love New York Shooks does a lot of spice blends, and I don't know, like I go to the store.
Beautiful. Love that. Paprika, New York Shuk, or get it in Israel. Your food will not taste like Arielle's if you don't have your paprika from Israel. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
There we go. Favorite weeknight dinner?
Schnitzel!
I knew that one. Okay.
I'm making schnitzel tonight. I just forgot the chicken.
I'll take 2. Please. Can I have leftovers?
Yes.
Okay, because I did not cook. This challah is dinner. Arielle, this was amazing. The kitchen smells so good. I think this is by far the prettiest challah that I've made. Just moving forward onto the year ahead, here are the questions. What is something you're hoping to cook more of in the new year?
Maybe more salads and vegetables. I've learned to love salads more over the summer, and I want to and also putting like proteins on salads for like weeknight meals.
Love that. If your legacy were to be one dish, what dish would you want to be
grandma's
remembered
couscous.
by? You're going to teach us how to make that couscous?
And yes,
Gorgeous.
and my older daughter, well, both my daughters have had couscous, and that's actually the answer to your question. I would love for them to learn how to make hand-rolled couscous like my grandma.
That's beautiful. So you want to pass that down? from
Yeah,
your
for
grandma.
sure.
Beautiful. We're passing down recipes today. What is your Rosh Hashanah wish for your followers and for yourself?
Oh, that's nice. Have more fun in the kitchen.
Okay.
And
Like today.
yeah, have more fun and take more risks.
Great. Okay, we're going to have fun. take risks, and eat sweet challah. Love you all.
Love you, Joyce.
Happy holidays and a sweet new year.
Happy holidays.
Thanks for spending time with me on Challah Talk, where we get deep into the dough. I hope today's conversation filled your cup, stirred something meaningful, and even sparked a little bit of joy. If you loved what you heard, don't forget to follow and share this episode with someone who's ready to rise. Until next time, keep showing up, and remember, I love you.